going to do my best to speak this much about something that I love speaking this much on, and helping other women experiencing themselves. So long ago, in fact, his story did not record it, because his story did not record her story, so we don't know how far back the temple dance lineages go. But what you're seeing tonight is what's called a classical dance form, and India has a variety of them. They're regional. And this particular one is from Orissa, which is on the central to southern east coast of India. And so there were a variety of Devadasi cultures in India. Deva means deity, Dasi means female servant. And so there were these female servants to the deities of the dance form in different temple complex and temple cultures. So Orissa had its very own distinctive, highly developed temple dance culture, and the temple dancers were called Maharis. So Devadasi is kind of an overarching term, and Maharis was their own name underneath that. So the Maharis were actually highly skilled, trained yoginis, dancers, masters of various arts, and they were, through various rituals by age 13 or mid-teens, they were literally married to the god. So that was their focal point, was they were the wives of the gods. And so what that granted them was a completely their own matrilineal caste that was as high as the god and the king. So they just were at the top of this very complex and ruthless caste system. But the sacred feminine was so valued at that time that they were revered, they were put at that level, because what the society, the belief was, is that these women, these dancers, were both the messengers of the gods, coming into the human realm. And so the god king was, in human form, but representing the actual deity God. And so they were fully embodying the fertile energy, the sensuality, the birth-giving life force. In Sanskrit, this is called Shakti. They were the living Shakti of the culture. And so in order for the weather to be optimum, for the agriculture to grow, to feed the children and the people, and make the gods happy, you needed that fertile Shakti life force, and those were the temple dancers. So that's why they were at the highest level of society, because they were the life-giving energy, and they were the translators of what was happening in the god realm. So India is a very multi-layered, many cultures, many languages, many people, especially back in the day, didn't read. So how do you translate these valuable stories of how the cosmos works, how the god realm works? What does everyone relate to? Body language, eye movement, a very complex language of eyes, hands, feet. So we have Tribhuvan, which is feminine and sensual, and then we have Shoko, which is Tandava, which is masculine. So you have literally the two universal energies of the masculine and feminine, the Shiva and Shakti elements that make up the dance. So in 1947, India finally got their freedom from England, and India went into this great cultural revolution of who are we? Where are our arts? What's valuable to us? And the ancient temples, of stone were still beautiful and alive and covered with sensual forms of the feminine and all these interesting postures with different instruments. And so ancient texts were found from the 15th, 16th, 17th century, along with the Natya Shastra, which is the manuscript on performing arts. So they pieced together what you're going to see tonight in a non-traditional form, Odissi. So Odissi is the cultural dance of Orissa. And I think that's enough.